Hi everyone, this is Elizabeth from Organized Chaos, and I wanted to walk you through the process of taking your digital printable planner file that you've downloaded and creating your printed planner that is customized exactly the way you want it. So I do hear comments from time to time from people who like the idea of the Plan My Whole Life planners that I have in my store, but they're intimidated by the idea of not getting a hard copy because the planners that I sell are all digital files that you download and print yourself. And they're intimidated by the process of trying to do that on their own. So I wanted to show you what the process is, what I go through to put my planner together for the new school year so that you can see exactly what you need to do on your own to get yours set up exactly the way you want it. So before you start, obviously, in order to set this up, you're going to need to download one of the planners that are available in my store. If you go to teacherspayteachers.com and search for the hashtag Plan My Whole Life, you'll see the listings for 7 different lesson planning formats that I have in my store that all come in this Plan My Whole Life bundle that includes all the organizers you need to get organized at home, at school, and everything in between. Once you have downloaded your file, you're going to need to make sure that before you start setting up and customizing your planner to get it ready to print, you're going to want to make sure that you know at least a basic starting point for your school and district calendar. You're going to want to have a basic idea of your class schedule and a basic idea of how you plan. So you're going to want to actually think through your class schedule and your planning style as you're choosing your lesson planning format. And if you want more information on that, I have a video in my YouTube channel, and that goes in more detail into what the different lesson planning formats are and what styles and schedules are best suited for each of them. But even after you've chosen your lesson planning format, you're going to want to know what your schedule is and how you like to organize your information so that you know how you want to set up your pages. And I'll talk about that in just a minute. So let's go ahead and get started. There are, like I said, lots of different lesson planning formats, but the one that I've been using for over 3 years now, every single day, is the dated 5 format. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to be setting up my 2017-2018 planner in that format. So all of the planner bundles come with all of these organizers. The only difference is the teacher planner that comes with the different weekly or rotational lesson planning pages. Everything else is exactly the same. So of course the first thing that I'm going to want on my planner is a cover. So I'm going to double click on the cover file, and you'll notice all of these are in PowerPoint format. I do that to make it easier to edit, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. It's just a lot easier to add your own customizations, move things around, and do whatever you want to do to personalize. So I always add some new cover designs each year. I just keep adding more as I find new artwork and get new inspiration. This year I've added a couple more musical designs, this guitar one and piano one, and I've also added some cover designs that coordinate with the posters that I made to put up in my classroom in these rainbow sort of tribal or bohemian patterns, which I really love. I haven't really decided. I may change my mind partway through the year on which cover I want to use, to be honest. But I'm going to start off with this piano one, which I think is so pretty. Now, I always just put the title where it says Planner 2017, 2018, or whatever the year is. These get updated every year for free. But you can also, for most of these covers, add your own text. And this is what I mean by personalizing. So you can go to Insert, Text box, and then click and drag to create a square, and then you literally just start typing whatever text it is that you want to add. And you could add your name, you could add the name of your school, you can move it around, change the color, change the size, change the font, whatever you want to make it customized and personalized to what you want. So I'm going to just keep the one that I want and get rid of the rest. So I selected the page right under the one that I want, and then I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click all the way on the last one to select all those pages that I don't need. I'm going to right click, which on a Mac is Control click, and click on Delete Slide. And now my page that I want is at the bottom. So I'm going to get rid of all the ones above it too. So I really only need one cover design. And you can actually, if you want, use these throughout your planner as dividers for different sections. I don't tend to do that, but I know a lot of people do, and then you can add the title of the section right onto the cover as well. So I'm going to go back to my folder now that I've got my cover design, and I'm going to go into the planner, which is kind of the main meat of the planner, if you will, and I'm going to go through and find the pages I want. So I've got my yearly calendars. I've got my pages for my school calendar, which what I tend to do is wait until it's closer to the beginning of the school year. I print out the district calendar and also my personal class schedule and cut it out and tape it in. But if you have a digital copy that you're confident isn't going to change, then you can always just take a screenshot or something, make it an image file, and then copy and paste it right into the page before you print it. Then I've got my long range planning sheets, and I like this format. It works for my calendar. It goes from September to June, but there are other calendar options, obviously, and other class titles, depending on what your school year actually is. So again, you find the ones you need and get rid of the other ones. So I teach K through 6, so I'm going to select all of those. And if you want to make multiple copies of a page, you can just right click on it, duplicate page, and then make as many copies as you need so you can add your own titles. I'm going to go ahead, and I don't need June. I'm going to do the monthly calendars for next school year from July 17 to July 18. Whoops. I need to click on all the ones in between because I skipped some pages. So if you're selecting individual pages to keep adding to your selections, then on a PC that's going to be Control click. Alright, so I've got all those selected. Now I've got my grade book, which actually I don't use because I don't keep it in my planner anyway, because I do my grades on my seating charts. And I have a blog post about that if you're interested. But I'm not going to put those in my planner this year like I have in the past. Parent contact log, yes, I need it. And I'm going to keep this format that has a smaller amount of space, but I have added, this is new this year, a page that has more space for each entry if you're finding you need more space for your notes. Professional development, substitutes, these were all really helpful for me this year to keep track of which lessons the subs have taught to which classes, And now we're into the weekly planning pages, which is kind of the main part of the planner. So I think before I go into that, because we're getting to a lot of pages here and I don't want to lose track of what I've selected. So I'm just going to left click and drag. And I'm going to go over, whoops, it's not letting me do that, so I'll show you a different way. Let's go back. Okay, hold on. So let's right click and copy. Go over to the other file, go right below and paste. And now all the pages I selected are there and the pages I did not are not. So let me go to the bottom because I'm going to keep adding here. I'm going to go back to my lesson planning pages, the weekly pages, and I'm going to find the dates I need. Now these go usually from July of one year to July of the next, just so that you have all your dates covered. But my school year starts mid to late August. So I'm going to start the middle of August just to be safe. And I'm going to scroll down pretty far until I get to this is July. I'm going to go to the end of July just to be safe, and I'm going to do the same thing. Copy, go over to my first file and paste. Now, one other thing that you want to think about is the order of your pages. I actually like to have my calendars all together. So my yearly calendars, monthly, and then the weekly planning pages. So I'm going to move all these other sort of organizers down to the end. If it'll scroll down a little bit faster for me. Come on. So you can move these pages obviously around wherever you want. And just for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and stick them right here, but you get the idea. So you can move groups of pages around wherever you need to. And that's all the pages I need from the teacher planner. So I'm going to close that file. And now I'll go back and let's look at the music organizer. Now, I used to have almost every single one of these pages in my planner, and I don't use a lot of them. I don't keep a lot of them in my planner anymore. I keep a lot of them in separate places just because my planning style has changed. But there are planning sheets for all the national standards, the National Core Arts standards for general music and ensembles. There are concert planners, which I print and use whenever I have a concert coming up. Rehearsal notes for ensemble groups. I use those for my choirs. Recorder karate. All of these I, don't use on a daily basis. So I keep a lot of them, and they're just for a specific purpose. So I keep them separately. I am going to get a copy of the IEP at a glance forms, and this year another new update is that I've added a version that says 504 at the top. It's the same form, and then there's a blank one in case you have other titles for that, and then also a medical information sheet, which is great for keeping track of symptoms and treatment protocol for students who have special needs in that area. It's so hard to keep track of that information when we have hundreds and hundreds of students, so this just makes it a lot easier. And I'm going to do what I was talking about before. I'm going to duplicate the slide for the IEPs. I don't write down every single one, just the ones that I have trouble remembering or if they're a new student or something. So I'm gonna, I think, have 3 copies of that. All right, so let's go back and go to the home planner. And I'm gonna add the birthdays, the contact information for my family and friends, the cleaning checklist, which I laminate that sheet and just use it over and over again, and then lots of stuff for meal planning, um, and the utilities information, medical provider information. I'm going to copy and paste at the end to have my little home and lifestyle kind of section there. And then the last thing I want to do, and there are a lot of other sheets that, again, seating charts, inventory workbook, and Excel document, goal setting worksheets, and things like that that I use separately or I use electronically. But the last thing that I add to my planner is the business section. A lot of people think, oh, I don't need that. I don't have my own business. But this is great for any kind of budgeting. It's so nice for tax season, which I know a lot of us just went through. And if you have any kind of private studio or any kind of additional income coming in, it's really great. There's specific forms for different kinds of businesses, like private music lesson studios, online businesses like my blog and store, social media, those kinds of things. There are also some great undated calendars that I like to use when we're on vacation. This blank weekly one is really great for the summertime. And there are different social media tracking calendars. There's all kinds of stuff. So even if you don't have a business, if you're setting up your planner, you may want to just take a look at it because oftentimes people are surprised to find some forms that apply to them even without a business. So I think I've got everything that I need here. So I'm going to go back up to the top. Now the last thing that you want to do before you print is to check on your double-sided spreads. So there are some pages that you want to be able to see one sheet on the left and one on the right when you have the planner open like a book. And the main place that people like me always want to do that is in the weekly lesson planning pages. These are set up specifically, they're designed to be used when they're open like a book. So the thing that you want to check is the sheet that you want to have on the left side when the planner is open should be an even number, and the sheet that you want to have on the right side of that is going to be an odd numbered page. So if you have that set up correctly, then you're good to go. You don't need to change anything. If after you've chosen all the pages you want and put them in the right order, if you find that your weekly planning pages are facing the wrong way, so you've got the ones that should be on the left are an odd numbered page, there, what you can do is go back up to the very beginning, and where you have your cover, right click and select new slide. That's going to add a blank page right after your cover, and all that means is that when you print your planner, you're going to have your front cover on the front, and then the back of that cover is going to be blank, which actually I often find is really nice. You can stick post-it notes on there. You can jot yourself different notes or things like that. You can laminate it and use it as a shopping list place or whatever you want. But it will bump all the rest of the pages under it down so that you end up with the pages facing the right direction. All right, once you've got those pages all in the right spot, make sure you save your file. If you go to File, you can either just save it as is and maybe save it to your desktop so you know where it is. Or you can also, if you're sending it someplace and the PowerPoint file isn't a good format, you can save it as a PDF and send it that way. It's very easy to email or upload to a website like Staples or whatever if you're going to use a printing service. And then if you're printing at home, just make sure that you always select to print on both sides. You're going to want to do that if you send it to a service as well. And then you're going to want to play around. You probably want to do a couple of test pages. Don't print the whole planner right away. And try to select scale to, what did I say? Scale to fit paper, or try, print with no margins. Every printer is going to be a little bit different. So you, like I said, you want to play around with a couple of test pages and check your printer settings and find the one that works best so that you get the whole page on each piece of paper and you don't have a bunch of blank space around the edges either. All right, that is just about it. You're ready to print and start using your planner. If you want more information on binding and using your planner, if you want lesson ideas to put in that planner, and tons more planner tips, head on over to my blog at caldwellorganizedchaos.com. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!